everybody, and welcome to Nashua ETV's coverage of American Legion Baseball. We've got a treat for you. We've got not one, but you'll see over the days, 2 games. Nashua Dover today, and then after this game tonight, they're going to have Nashua against Exeter. Dover comes in at 4-9, Nashua with 9-1, but the headliner is going to be the second game when Exeter comes in with 12-2 record. But Dover's been competitive. They gave Nashua a little bit to handle the first time they played him here at Holman Stadium. I'm Tom King. John Collins will join me very soon. Tim O'Neill on camera. Pete Johnson is our executive producer. We already have one out on a ground out to second. And Henry Boudreau is on the mound for Nashua. The last time he pitched last Tuesday, he threw a shutout. Actually, my bad. He threw a 6-1 game, but it was a complete game. There's a little looper to right field, and it's going to fall in no man's land. So a base hit for Jacob Bisson, and that'll bring up Axel Post. Little blooper.
Now stepping in with 1 out, number 23, Axel Post.
Boudreau threw a complete game 3-hitter, allowed 1 run. And that was against Portsmouth last week. The Seacoast teams are all in Nashua's division. They have Rochester, Dover, Portsmouth, and Exeter. Nashua's only District B loss this season has been to Derry. And that came a week ago Monday. Pitch is high for ball. Boudreau comes to the stretch. High again. 2-0. Runner leads away at first. In there on the inside corner for strike 1. Curveball up high, that's a ball 4, and there'll be runners at first and second with 1 down. So a blooper and a walk, and that puts 2 Dover runners on, and that'll bring up Aiden McDonough, the cleanup hitter. Now this Dover team, you saw them already this year, and in the game we did on National ETV back in mid-June, about a month ago, Dover left the bases loaded 4 times and did not score in that game. Very rare thing in the game of baseball. Pitch is strike. Fouled off and out of play to the left side. Dover comes in at 4-9 in District B. Probably will not make the state tournament. The state tournament will be here at Holman Stadium starting on Friday, July 26th, and will go until Tuesday, July 30th. And that's going to be down the line. It's going to hook foul. If it was anywhere close to that line, it was going to be trouble for Nashua. Noah Therian out in center field. Brett Anderson is the left fielder for Nashua. And in right field, Nick DiRenzo. Boudreau again behind now, 2-2. Runners lead away at first and second, 1 out, top first. Ground ball to shortstop. De La Rosa, 1 to first, a wild throw. That's going to allow a run to score. So an error by Albert De La Rosa on the throw as he tried a 6-3 double play. Bounces it into the dugout and out of play, and a run allowed to score. Runner at second. It's 1-0 Dover. So they didn't need to get the bases loaded this time to score a run. It'll go as a fielder's choice and an E6. No RBI. Runner at second, and it's 1-0.
2
2 outs. Pitch swung and missed. Fastball fouled into the screen. 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll do it for Dover. But they pick up a run. There was one base hit, one error, one man left on base. We go to the bottom of the first inning. It's a 1-0 game in favor of the Dover Legion.
First inning, 1 run on 1 base hit. There was 1 Nashua error and 1 man left on base.
For Nashua, the starting lineup. Max Mello playing third base will lead it off. Brett Anderson in left field. He'll hit second. De La Rosa, the shortstop. He's got a younger brother, I believe, who's doing very well with the Babe Ruth All-Stars that are going to be playing this weekend in regional play. The New England Regionals are in Rochester. Noah Therian is the cleanup hitter, playing center field, as we said. Will Brooks, the catcher. He'll bat 5th. Henry Boudreau, the pitcher, will bat 6th. Nick DiRenzo in right field. A lot of Hollis kids on this team. DiRenzo is one of them. So is Boudreau. Zach Finkelstein will play first. And bat 8th. Batting 9th, the second baseman, Trevor Kelly. And I'll tell you what, if you got Trevor Kelly hitting 9th, you got a pretty good offensive team. On the mound for Dover right now will be Alex Bostrom. This is not, I don't believe, the same pitcher Nashua faced when they played here at home in the first time. Nashua went out and beat them again in Dover. So this is the third meeting between the two, I believe. Tim Lunn is the manager for Nashua. Already down 1-0. Don't forget, there'll be another Legion game that we'll be doing live after this one, after probably about a half-hour break. It'll be Nashua against Exeter in a battle of titans in Division B. Exeter coming in at 12-2. We already told you Nashua's 9-1. They'll look to get to 10-1 if they could beat Dover here today, but they're already down 1-0. Mello will step in.
Home half of the first inning, leading off number 16, Max Mello.
Mello's a good player for Hollis Brookline this past spring. Bostrom taking his time. Going to come from the stretch. Not much of a windup. No windup at all. Stretch. And he throws a strike 1 to start the bottom of the first here at Holman Stadium. The pitch. Nice curveball in there for strike 2. Quickly mellow down 0-2. The 0-2. Low. Mello did a good job not to offer it that, as it had the plate, but low. Didn't chase. Here's the pitch. Fastball grounded to shortstop. Backhanded, long throw to first in time, and Mello is out. Great play at shortstop by Alex Schlappa.
Now stepping in.
So that's one away. That'll bring up Brad Anderson. Gatorade Player of the Year for Bishop Girton in high school this year. Telegraph Player of the Year. And also has made his choice for colleges and announced last week that he will attend the University of Hartford in the fall of 2020. It'll be here before you know it. Pitches inside for a ball. This pitch sliced Down the left field line, but foul. Not many people here right now for this one, but there should be a little bit more of a crowd for the 7:30 nightcap between two really good teams. Now Post goes out to talk to his pitcher, Bostrom. 1 out, nobody on, bottom first, Dover leads 1-0. The pitch, up high for a ball, 2-1. Kind of a muggy day, not too hot. Overcast, a little bit of sun here and there. Swing and a miss at a slider on the outer half of the plate. Probably wasn't a strike. Anderson tried to go out and get it. Here's the pitch. A nubber towards first, but foul. It was foul off the plate. Maybe off of Anderson's foot, not sure. So the count's even now, 2-2. Don't forget, the Legion tournament will be at Holman Stadium a week from Friday. That is a gauntlet. Got to have a lot of arms. A double elimination tournament that takes 5 days. Pitch on the outer half, no, outside for ball 3. Count is full now on Brett Anderson. Oh, he swings at ball 4. Pitch was outside. Anderson chases. And there's 2 away.
Number 5, Albert De La Rosa.
That'll bring up Albert De La Rosa hitting third. Interesting lineup. De La Rosa with a little bit of speed. You think that he might lead off, but may change that for the second game. Pitch, strike. Not too many fastballs from Bostrom. A lot of off speed. Pitch, curveball didn't curve inside for ball, 1-1. The pitch. Little number out in front of home. Let's see if De La Rosa could beat it out. Throw to first, not in time. He's safe. It was dropped anyway. So there's the speed of De La Rosa legging out a base hit. It'll be an infield hit, and that'll bring up Noah Therian. Therian, left-handed hitter.
2 outs.
Let's see if De La Rosa tries to take second to get that tying run in scoring position with his speed. He's definitely a threat to steal. Pitch, strike 1. That always helps. Short lead the first time for De La Rosa. Let's see if he expands it. Nope, still a short lead. Bostrom comes to the belt. The pitch bounces to the plate. De La Rosa will go to second. There's no way they can get him, as the pitch just slipped out of Bostrom's hand, and De La Rosa alertly steals second. So he is in scoring position for Noah Therian. Stolen base. Pitch low. 2-1. They play Therian to pull. Center fielder shaded towards right. Pitch is high and a little bit outside, and now Therian is up in the count, 3-1. Tim Lund, the national manager, he's coaching third. Here's the 3-1 pitch, grounded, foul off the plate. Nashua Silver Knights are out of town right now. Everybody's in Pittsfield for the Futures Collegiate League All-Star Game. It was just a year ago tomorrow or actually a year ago Thursday, will be the 1-year anniversary of the FCBL All-Star Game that was held here in Nashua with the 80th Holman Stadium birthday. It was quite a night. Place was packed, a lot of media. A lot of players, a lot of scouts. Great night for Holman. Pitch is fouled off to the side, as you saw, and it's 3-2 now. Don't look for a fastball here. Bostrom will probably try to curve him. And he does, and it's inside for ball 4, and now the runner is at first and second. For Will Brooks, the catcher.
Now stepping in, number 17, Will Brooks.
And here comes John Collins. Bostrom comes to the belt. Runners lead away from first and second, and now he takes a look at De La Rosa, who forces him to stop. De La Rosa with a healthy lead off a second. Pitch, line drive, that's going to be a base hit. De La Rosa will score easily. Going for third is Therian. He's going to get there, and it's a tie game, 1-1. And going into second on the throw is Brooks. So Brooks with an RBI single, and it's a 1-1 game. Interesting game, John Collins. 1-0 Dover on a throwing error in the top of the first. And now Nashua with 2 outs and nobody on. Got some life when De La Rosa beat out a ground single. And there's a line drive that is over the second baseman's head for a base hit. That's going to score 2 runs. And Nashua is up by a 3-1 count.
Good piece of hitting there. Ball was over the inner half, but he was able to pull his hands in and get the barrel to it and drove it just hard enough to get it over the leaping second baseman. Clutch 2 RBI single.
And Henry Boudreau helping himself out there as he's the pitcher with the 2-run single. And we've got a 3-1 game.
Nick Renzo stepping in.
Nick DiRenzo, the right fielder, as Boudreau will lead off first. I don't think as being the pitcher he's going to be a threat to steal. Swing and a miss. He went. For strike 1. Notice the starting pitcher, John. Well, you weren't here for the first 2 hitters. He pitches from the stretch all the time. Does not wind up. Pitches low for a ball, 1-1.
That works for some high-paid relievers in the pros, but I'm not so sure you want to give that up as a youngster, you know, the advantage of coming from the windup.
He throws the same way no matter who's on base or if nobody's on base. It's kind of like a semi-stretch. Doesn't really come completely to the belt. Kind of comes to the chest. See?
See what you mean. Yep. And of course, the umps are looking for consistency.
They're also going to look for a balk if he doesn't.
Right.
If he doesn't
does
make
something
the move
different
all the way. Pitch. Loop to right field, but moving over and making the catch for the 3rd out. That'll do it for Nashua in the bottom of the first. But the Nashua Post 124 Legion team picks up 3 runs on 3 hits. There were no Dover errors and 1 man left on base. We played 1 at home, and John Collins will take over for me. It's a 3-1 game.
Nashua in the bottom of the first inning.
Henry Boudreau finishing his windup, warm-up. Caleb Witham will step in for Dover now. Number 18. Witham, the first baseman. So Nashua with RBI singles by Brooks and Henry Boudreau take a 3-1 lead. Tell you what, you give Boudreau a 2-run lead the way he's pitching this year. He went 6-0 during the regular season for Hollis. And I don't think he's lost this summer for Nashua, but I'm not sure. I saw him pitch a complete game, 3-hitter a week ago. So, don't know who's pitching the second game yet. With him pitches inside.
nearly hit the batter there. Twisting away from it. Caleb Witham, left-handed hitter, up for the first time.
Pitch high for a ball. Pitch, fastball, got him. Inside corner. 2 strikes. Boudreaux. Fastball again. This one's low, though, and at ball 4. So Boudreaux, uncharacteristically, has issued 2 walks.
Does he always work that quickly?
Yes.
Oh, fielders love it. It only looks bad when you issue a quick walk like that.
It did a 6-1 game with Portsmouth a week ago. It was 2 hours. 7-inning game, 1-1 all the way until the bottom of the 6th when Nashua scored 5. First pitch swung on and missed. Dan Worcester, ground ball to second. Let's see if they can get 2. They get 1, and I think they're going to hold it. No, they tried to throw the first, but too late. Probably would have been good for De La Rosa just to hold on to it there.
Yep. As long as you don't make a bad throw, you can just chalk it up to infield practice.
Well, the first inning, he did make a bad throw. It was
Oh.
a grounder right to him, and he stepped on second and threw to first, but he bounced it. And it allowed a run to score. 1 out, 1 on. Pitch is a strike.
Number 7, Aiden Fillion at the plate.
Aiden Fillion. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. It's a nice day for baseball. Let's play 2, and that's what we're going to do here at Holman.
And the second game, the same 2 teams?
No,
or?
Exeter will be coming
Exeter.
in, and that's the headliner right there. Dover's 4-9. Exeter's got a 12-2 record. Which is
Juggernaut.
high.
Yeah.
We drove down in the count again, I believe, 3-1.
And this way. That was about Tom King window high.
Yes, it is, and there's a computer in that room, so let's.
We'll have to survey the damage
yeah,
momentarily.
Let's I don't
Sound like it made its way inside, indoors.
I don't think it did.
Is the window open?
Yes,
Strike
it is.
3, just frozen with the in front door curveball. Big looping curveball there, nicely done for out number 2.
With 2 outs, now coming to plate number 8, Dylan Murphy.
And Dylan Murphy is the batter. Trying to come up with some 2-out magic, and he promptly gaps one. And running on 2 outs at contact, going for 2. It's going to be close, and great closing speed by Murphy to make that into a double. A hustle double. You don't make a double on that unless you're churning right out of the box, which he was. And not at all looking like a 9-hitter in that sequence. Dylan Murphy wraps one to the gap.
Now stepping in, shortstop.
The lead runner goes to third. Murphy's at second in scoring position with 2 out.
Placed perfectly up the gap.
We recorded the strikeout for out number 2.
Ground ball to second. This should be the end of the inning.
Off balance throw, and
Yeah.
he makes it. So they
He realized
leave 2 runners in scoring position.
he realized there wasn't a runner going to second base because his first thought was to flip to second.
It
He
seemed
saw
like he
it.
looked to his right.
Yes, exactly.
And oops,
Yep.
got to go to first.
So
on that.
Nashua escapes trouble. No runs. There's a base hit, a walk, and 2 men left. And remember, John, this is the team that loaded the bases 4 times when we did a game
Dover,
early in the year.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So we played an inning and a half. It is now 3-1, and I'm going to go down on the field and do what I do with the camera.
Thank you, Tom, for getting us started. Originally scheduled for a 5:30 start, they began things at 5 p.m. And the calm inside Holman Stadium belies the traffic out on Main Street. And Canal Street, they're starting to do work on that, which is another problem. Seems to be the favorite thing of public works departments to wait till school is out and to correct some of the problems with the roads around here, the ravages of another long, harsh winter. So Nashua coming to bat here in the bottom of the second inning. Still leading 3-1. Dover threatening there with runners in scoring position with 2 out. Just not able to plate anybody. And Alex Bostrom, the pitcher for Dover, finishes his warm-up tosses. Strong throw, but on one hop from catcher Axel Post. We have an Alex and an Axel for Dover batting in the top of their order as well. Alex Schlapak and Axel Post, the 1 and 3 hitters in the Dover lineup. Schlapak is the shortstop. Right now he's standing in the outfield grass, an indication that he must have a strong arm at shortstop to feel confident to play there. Huge swing and a miss. Nashua trying to get a leadoff batter aboard here in the second inning, and that was just a example of chasing one. Might have been a slider in the dirt from Bostrom. And he's ahead in the count 0-2. 7-inning games. And New Hampshire Legion ball. Look out. Curveball doesn't break far enough to catch the inside corner. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bostrom also a quick worker. The Dover starter. And swung on and missed. Healthy cut there, but it might have been below the strike zone and no contact. So 1 up, 1 down by way of the strikeout here in the Nashua
Number 29, Trevor Kelly.
third. It was Zach Eichelstein that went down swinging. And Trevor Kelly, the Nashua second baseman, up there now. Made the play that just ended the previous inning on the ground ball up the middle. Slowly hit. Nicely done to his right. Chance to make some points on the offensive end of things here. Takes a strike. Fastball at the knees over the inside corner. Trevor Kelly looking to get on base. Nice scoop by the catcher, Axel Post. Bostrom's pitch, he went with the high heat that time and not able to get on top of it was Kelly. Batting in the 9 spot in the order. It'll be back to the top of with Mark Mello on deck. Strike 3 called, no argument from Kelly. So 2 up, 2 down by way of the K. Impressive third inning so far here for Bostrom. Max Mello up there now, looking for a way to get on base with 2 out. Top of the order guy, has some speed, would like to start something with 2 out. Looks at 2 balls outside the zone, and the count in his favor now. 2 balls and no strikes. Brett Anderson, high school player of the year, is on deck. Big swing and a miss on a 2-0 changeup, and you don't expect that. Most hitters don't. On 2-0, you think it's going to be dead red. Fastball, but he didn't get it. And that one was the fastball, and looking to get a grip some way, reaching for a handful of dirt was Bostrom after that pitch was about 3 or 4 feet outside. Axel Post, catcher, did a good job just to get some leather on it, but nobody on base, no harm. 3 balls and a strike on Mello. Still good hitters count. Strike 2. Had a healthy cut at that. Might have had some sink on it. Low over the middle. They see the payoff pitch is lined to the third baseman, and he gloves it. Going to his right, robbing Mello of a double. Good play by Aiden McDonough at the hot corner. Being alert for the left-handed batter. That's not an easy thing. A lot of times you see the pros overshift left-handed batters, and they'll be nowhere near the third base bag or the line. But that was a Rod Carew-like go the other way line drive by Mello, and it turns into 3 up, 3 down. 2 strikeouts and a line out, and a briskly paced game here at Holman, courtesy of these 2 pitchers, Alex Bostrom and Henry Boudreau. Boudreau also putting on a clinic in the previous inning until he got into trouble late. 2 out. Radar gun not on here for the Legion games. It'd be interesting to know what velocity Boudreau is rushing it up there, as he just mixed a fastball and a slow curveball back to back. Stark difference in the velocity there will keep most hitters off balance, especially if you can control it. There's a changeup over the outside corner. So 3 straight pitches. If you're watching from the on-deck circle as an opposing batter, you're thinking this guy's got some good stuff. 3 quality pitches right there in the warm-ups leading into this top of the 4th inning. Dover batting, down 3-1. Was low and away. Top to the left side, and it's off the glove of Mello. Not able to make the play. So leadoff batter aboard for Dover. Axel Post batting now as Jake Bisson makes his way on base. Foul tipped. Strike 1. 0-1 is the count on Axel Post, catcher, playing the Buster Posey role for Dover in the 3 spot. Obviously one of their best hitters and a big boy filling up that right-handed batter's box. Looking to equalize here or get on base and take a crack at this 3-1 deficit. Slow curveball, he golfs it in the air behind second base. It's going to be caught. Terrific play by second baseman Trevor Kelly. Not an easy play. He had lost it momentarily, and then with his back to home plate was able to glove that right in front of his right fielder and teammate Nick DiRenzo. So good play by Kelly. Tough base running decision for Bisson at first. Bisson diving back on the pickoff attempt by Boudreau. If that falls, the mad scramble would be on by the fielders to pick it up and throw it to second, and for Bisson to try to hustle in ahead of the throw and avoid the fielder's choice out at second. Pop-up caught, fouled off to the left. Healthy hack there by Aiden McDonough. Slow curveball going for the outside corner. Sharply hit grounder to the shortstop, and showing off that throwing arm was Albert De La Rosa. A strike over to the first baseman. Zach Finkelstein, and it is a second out of the inning. Bisson at second base in scoring position with 2 out. So Dover left a couple of ducks on the pond in scoring position last inning as Boudreau shut the door.
Now stepping in with 2 down, Alex Bostrom.
Alex Bostrom, big cut, fouls it straight back. The opposing pitcher's going at it here as Boudreau faces Bostrom in the batter's box. They bat in a similar part in the order. Bostrom's the number 5 hitter for Dover, and Boudreau hits number 6 for the Nashua Legion. Great paint right there with the fastball. Bostrom wanted no part of it, but it took a big bite out of that outer third. So 2 strikes quickly on Bostrom, and Boudreau trying to seal the deal here in the 4th inning, and he does. He gets the strikeout. Bostrom upset with himself as he wasn't certain whether he should swing or not. It was a perfectly placed pitch by Boudreau, probably just a couple inches low over the outside corner, and Bostrom could not hold back the check swing. So Dover again leaving a runner in scoring position. As Tom mentioned, we did a game here on Nashua TV with the Dover Legion in this summer of 2019, and they, in our minds, set a record for a Nashua ETV telecast by leaving the bases loaded 4 times in a 7-inning game. That's not easy to do. First you have to load them, and then nobody came through. There's a lot of runners left on base in one game. 12 at least. So bottom 4 we go, and the Nashua Legion getting another crack at Alex Bostrom. Has to shake off that strikeout batting and go right back out there and try to strike out some Nashua batters in turn.
Surprise, they got the leadoff runner on and they didn't try to steal.
Yep.
In the previous inning. Gets to third, second with 2 outs, but that's not good enough in my mind. He had speed. They should have run him.
Respect for the catcher's arm, is it?
Brooks is a good catcher. There's no question about it. But you know what? You're
you can
4
steal
and 9.
on the pitcher.
You're 4-9. You got nothing to lose.
Yeah, that's true.
4-9 with a week to go.
At top of the order on base, go for it.
Leading off the home half of the 3rd inning,
Here's Brett Anderson.
fielder Brett Anderson.
Struck out swinging at a pitch on the outer. That was ball 4 on a 3-2 pitch. It was way outside. He went, chased it.
Do you have bottom of the 4th inning?
No, bottom 3.
Okay. Off to the left and out of play.
Count okay, John?
I just see you have.
Yeah. 1,
They
2,
bat around?
3. No.
So this would be the 4th?
No. This is. I have Dover on this side. I was looking. at something.
Dover's on this side.
I was looking at
Sorry,
something.
I thought you flipped
No,
it to Nashua.
I haven't
Sorry.
flipped it yet.
In the dirt, and it makes its way up and over. Skee ball shoot.
Not bad, huh?
You don't see that very often.
No, you don't.
Home plate umpire's looking around like, how'd that make it over the netting? Or did it go through? No, it went over.
No, it went right over. Bounced way up.
Bottom 3. Nashua Legion batting, and it's ripped to right for a base hit. So, player of the year, Brett Anderson.
And they'll get something going here because De La Rosa.
Now striding to the plate.
De La
Oh,
Rosa he's got De La Rosa hitting
Must have got a
third.
bad wheel.
So don't. No, De La Rosa sure looked like he had good wheel. Oh, Anderson coming out. That's right. Interesting.
Yeah.
And there's no re-entry, I believe, in Legion. To see what that's all about.
Yeah. So Anderson comes out of the game, and a pinch runner in at first base. Nobody out, man at first, and Albert De La Rosa, the shortstop for the Nashua Legion. Chance to second look at Alex Bostrom. Well, it's a strike and a throw to first, a quick throw by Dover catcher Axel Post, trying to make something happen, stealing out. Catch the pinch runner napping, but back easily. And we will resume with, throw over to first. It's just a bluff. De La Rosa's approach. Foul tipped into the mitt, so the throw to second, safe. Shortstop for Dover thought that he caught the ball on the body of the base runner, but did not get the call. The umpire, who was between the mound and second, probably not the best angle to see if any contact was made between the fielder sprinting past him and the runner on the other side of the fielder. A pretty decent jump, and in scoring position now, Dover with. Okay, so Brett Anderson may be allowed to come back in, as Tom King checked on the rules and found that one re-entry is allowed. Ground ball through the shortstop hole and through. They're going to wave the runner home, and he's going to score without a throw. An RBI single by Albert De La Rosa. There was a huge hole on the left side of the infield, and he took advantage. 4-1 lead for the Nashua Legion over Dover here in the third. Just pulled a sharp ground ball. The Dover shortstop was kind of playing close to second. And maybe the scouting report said that De La Rosa tends to hit the ball up the middle, but not that time. So now it's the cleanup hitter, Noah Therian, the center fielder, and left-handed batter. Looking for a ball that he can drive, and he takes a strike over the outer limits of the strike zone on the outside part of the plate from Alex Bostrom. Comes set and delivers, and it's outside and low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Of course, one of the big stories in baseball this year, 2019, is the season that Cody Bellinger is having, the left-handed slugger for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And as you look down at Noah Therian in the batter's box, it kind of evokes thoughts of how Bellinger stands. It's not quite the same, but similar build. Tall and lean and left-handed, and huge amount of success that Bellinger's having this season. He homered at Fenway during that series and promptly went to Philadelphia on Monday night and kept it going. I think he has about 32 now. Big swing and foul straight back by Therian. He just committed a fraction too early on that. Tried to pull an outside fastball. Doable, but you got to be right on time. Short, conservative lead at first base for De La Rosa. I don't know if he's been victimized by a pickoff move by Bostrom before, or just not comfortable in taking big leads. But now he's another step out there, and he's going to go, and it's fouled. And you cannot blame Therian for spoiling that one. It was a call earlier in the at-bat where it was given to Bostrom, the outside, far outside corner, and that pitch appeared to be headed for the same spot. So even though De La Rosa got a nice jump and his stolen base attempt at first, Therian forced to foul it off. There he goes again, ripped to right, base hit. De La Rosa is going to keep on running to third base. A solid single to right. A rope off the bat of Noah Darian, and the hit parade continues for the Nashua Legion here in the bottom of the third inning as they seek to add to a 4-1 lead. That'll bring Will Brooks, catcher Will Brooks, to the plate. Resplendent in those Carlton Fisk stirrup socks. The high red stirrups. Wearing number 17. The pitch hits him. Nowhere to go for Brooks, and he absorbs that one on his the left side of his back, his upper back. Took that one, and bases will be loaded after the hit by pitch of Brooks. So Henry Boudreau a chance to do some bases loaded damage here in the bottom of the third. Nashua Legion versus the Dover Legion. Nashua in the red and blue striped unis. Dover in the field with the dark blue sleeves on their uniforms. Both teams happen to be wearing white. Look like we have some shuffling of the defense here for Dover right now. Fairly hot day here in Greater Nashua. Not too humid, but definitely getting your money's worth as far as a sunny July, a mid-July day. It feels exactly like you would think a mid-July day would feel. So a new pitcher into the game for Dover. A sidewinder. As Bostrom is lifted in favor of the reliever. Seems to be a crafty righty. That's a term you don't really hear a lot of, but that one is a two-seamer that would be called a strike. On the inner corner at the knees to a right-hander, that would be kind of high. So using that sidearm delivery to kind of spin it. Two-seam variety. Dover with the pitching change in a key spot here as Henry Boudreau, Nashua pitcher. That's 9, Bill. We'll get the announcement from Bill Thorpe.
Number 9, Jacob Bisson.
Jacob Bisson, who was playing center field, is now the pitcher for Dover, and it may be that he changed places with Bostrom and appears to be in center field right now. So he comes into a jam, and he throws a strike. Slings one belt high over the outer half to Henry Boudreau. An 0-1 pitch. Bisson rocks and delivers, and he had the batter way out in front. Will they appeal that? I don't see the home plate umpire pointing to the base umpire. That's definitely a pitch that you would see a pro manager call for an appeal. That one just misses the helmet of Boudreau, who barely moved. Was that from today's game, Pete? Oh, okay, yeah. There's a broken maple bat up in the press box, and it's a weapon. It's a jagged weapon. Boudreau chased that one up high. So he's got 2 strikes on him. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the Nashua pitcher trying to help himself, as they say. That slow curveball stays way outside. And now it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Oh, that's a deep cup on the top of the bat, that particular one. He tomahawks this one to shallow left, a long run and a catch, and there's no chance for anybody to tag up and score. Good charging defensive play made out there in left field. by Dover's Dan Fillion. So he was basically playing deep short by the time he caught that. And De La Rosa, who runs pretty well, had no chance to score. He would have to go the full 90 feet with the fielder almost a handshake distance away. So 1 out as Boudreau is induced into a pop-up, and the next batter is Nick DiRenzo, the Nashua right fielder, with a great RBI opportunity. Bases loaded and 1 out. Takes a high fastball above the zone, and the count very much in his favor. 2 balls and no strikes to Nick DiRenzo. Dover defending him straight away at all positions. That is high, according to the home plate umpire, and clearly Bisson wanted that strike call. He didn't get it. Umpire staying consistent, requiring the pitchers to get the ball down. It's ball 4. Inches high, maybe an inch too high, right down the middle, but it is a ball 4 call. Now another umpire who gives the high strike might have gave 2 to Bisson in that sequence up against DiRenzo, but it is a walk with the bases loaded, and it is a 5-1 Nashua lead as they continue to bat here in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
First baseman Zach Finkelstein stepping in.
Zach Finkelstein, the Nashua first baseman, stepping into a bases loaded 1-out opportunity, and he takes a ball high. So that's about 5 straight balls up above the strike zone from Jake Bisson, who needs to get it down. He does there, and he gets the strike call. 1 ball and 1 strike. A little like Finkelstein was content to take a strike before swinging away here. Big swing and a pop foul into the seats. Top of the dugout, actually. Strike 2 on Finkelstein. I think he liked that pitch so much he may have overswung a bit and got under it. Right fielder certainly cheating in a lot for Dover. Dylan Murphy, if Finkelstein gets a hold of one the other way, he could very well clear the bases if he gets the ball behind any one of these outfielders. There's a curveball. It doesn't break. Stays up. 2-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Went up and in with the fastball, probably out of the zone. And Finkelstein got such a good look at it, he couldn't help himself. He took a huge cut at it and could not get to it. So a quality pitch there from Bisson. After issuing a bases loaded walk, gets a bases loaded strikeout. So 2 outs, and inside it goes to Trevor Kelly. What happened? Oh, a pickoff at first? Third base. I looked down at my scorecard, and somehow the runner at third base must have looked away as well, because a pickoff with the bases loaded and 2 out, not something you want to do right in front of your manager and base coach. Alert play by Jake Bisson, coming in from center field and issuing a bases loaded walk and then nothing else. That is how you get out of a huge jam with relatively little damage. So top 4, and it's 5-1 Nashua Legion over the Dover Legion as things move along here at Holman Stadium. Do not see the Exeter team in the building just yet as they make their way to Nashua through some traffic, no doubt. Field looks to be in good condition. after the sun's been beating down on it for several days. And Henry Boudreau continues to work for the Nashua Legion into the top of the fourth.
Interesting play at third.
Yeah. I looked down just for a second, and I think the runner was
He
looking
was
down or looking somewhere else.
He
too.
wasn't making a move towards the plate. He just was slow to get back to the base.
Yep.
He had stepped maybe even with the grass.
Bisson threw a dart over there. And
Yeah.
out number 3. That's a huge no-no. I mean, you always hear you don't want to make the third out at third base.
Not with the bases loaded, one of your better hitters than Kelly, even though he's hitting number 9 coming up.
Yeah, he'd just gotten a big hit the previous time up.
Right,
correct?
exactly. Kelly's clutch was been on base.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed, John, being down there, I looked into the Dover dugout when they were in the field. Empty.
Uh-oh.
There is no bench for Dover.
There is no substitute, as Tom Cruise once said.
Exactly. So anybody they bring in to pitch is going to come from out there.
Yeah, I think he said Porsche, but in this case it would be Dover.
Yeah.
There's no substitute.
Yeah.
How's Boudreau look to you?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, he's walked a couple. Works deliberately, works fast. And there's a base hit.
Nice job of just serving that first pitch fastball out there into right center for a leadoff single. So Dover with a promising start here to the fourth inning.
If he needed a big out when I saw him pitch a week ago, he threw the fastball. That was his out pitch. I don't know if he's got the fastball command today that he had that day. But he's got a 5-1 lead.
Strike. Coming after the hitters. He'd love to get a double play here, I'm sure. That one's outside and low.
I don't think down 4 you're going to run at all. So basically, he doesn't have to worry too much about the runner at first. Just concentrate on the hitter. He's got a good defense behind him, even though they have one error today. I would let them hit it. And that's Boudreau's philosophy. He always says, I've got a good defense back there. Let them make the plays. That's what he told me last week.
Foul ball rattles down into the concession stand area.
But I was shocked. I looked at that dugout. Nobody. Yeah. In fact, I don't think the same manager was around.
Ball stays inside.
That's what happens when you're 4-9.
Yeah.
In the summer. See, that's just he doesn't have that command that he normally has, and now he's got problems first and second with nobody out.
And I have Dan Filion up. See. Bill Thorpe has the same. He's going to bunt, and he bunts it foul. Filion, kind of a defensive hack at that rather than a bunt. It was up and in. The correct play probably would have been to just pull the bat back to your right rear shoulder and get out of there. Take it as a ball. Instead, it's strike 1, fouled off. Inside move. Another bunt attempt is fouled off. So 2 strikes on Filion, batting number 8 in the order. Dylan Murphy had a big hit for Dover in that 9 spot earlier in the game. He's on deck. That's a ball low. Didn't miss by much. Not really wasting a pitch there was Henry Boudreau. It was a good competitive 0-2 pitch. Now the 1-2 carved off to the right. count remains the same. 1 ball and 2 strikes. This ball ends up a couple rows from the top of the bowl here at Holman. The pitch. Another defensive hack by Filion. He stays alive. That probably would have been called strike 3 as it was making its way back to the inside corner. Filion changing up. And actually, he's just getting some pine tar grip from the other bat that had stickum applied to it. Interesting way to get glued to the bat. So Filion tried to bunt the 2 runners over. He's worked the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes as Boudreau tries to come up with an out pitch here. And of course Filion would love to work a walk, and he's not going to get it. Instead, strike 3 called, the slowest of slow curveballs, perfectly placed by Henry Boudreau for out number 1 on the strikeout here in the top of the 4th inning. So Filion unable to get the job done. That curve just frozen. And it looked like absolutely the correct call by the umpire. Big swing and a miss. Dylan Murphy looking to hit it over the head of the Nashua left fielder with that swing. Another big swing, and again Murphy coming up empty. He lined a RBI single over the head of shortstop Albert De La Rosa his first time up. Actually, it was I think it was over the second baseman's head. He's moving up in the box. I anticipated that curve. You could see him shuffle forward just before Boudreau released that pitch. And I'm sure that Will Brooks saw that too. I would be surprised if he doesn't get a fastball here. He does, and he rips it. Is it fair or is it foul? It's going to hook foul. And he jumped on it. The heater actually was too far ahead of it. I don't know if it was a conscious effort on the part of Boudreau to take something off of that, turn it into a changeup sort of pitch and throw off the timing of Dylan Murphy, but it was effective in getting to hit it foul. This one's in the dirt and expertly gloved by Brooks. Scrambling back to the bag was Caleb at second base. Strike 3 call. 2 strikeouts, 2 caught lookings. The 2 batters at the bottom of the order retired by Boudreau. So this is one way to get out of a jam. Just strike out the side. He's got to go do it against the top of the order right now. And Schlapak hits it up the middle, then through. They're going to send the runner the throw to the plate. No, they didn't send. Oh, what a perfect throw that was. The center fielder listed here for Nashua is Noah Therian, and he threw a seed to home plate. It didn't even bounce as it made its way to Brooks. Caleb would have been a dead duck had he ran home on that, and he had no intention, it looked like, of running home. The way he approached third base, the third base coach wanted to wave him in, but had no choice but to hold him there, as he just was not running like you should on a 2-out hit to center field. Big swing and a miss by Jacob Bisson, who is now the pitcher for Dover. Down in the count 0-2 quickly. Boudreau just coming right after him. Bases loaded as the Dover Legion moved station to station on that ground ball single to center. Still can't get over the fact that the runner did not try to score. On a ground ball single, it's not a one hopper to the center fielder, although Therian was playing really shallow. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So Boudreau causes Dover to leave the bases loaded again with no runs scored, something they did 4 times in the team's previous meeting at Holman earlier this season, much to our astonishment. And Dover does it again. They got Runners on first, second, and third, and Boudreaux struck out the side here in the 4th inning. Much ado about nothing on the scoreboard for the Dover Legion. We'll see if Jacob Bisson, number 9 for Dover, comes back to the mound. You would imagine that Dover doesn't have many options, as Tom pointed out when he looked in the dugout with the team in the field. No substitutes available. So Bisson is the guy who's going to have to pitch maybe for the remainder of this game. If it does go 7, Nashua will get 3 more at-bats in the 4th, 5th, and 6th unless they blow the lead, whereupon they would have to bat in the 7th as well. So still a long way to go for Jacob Bisson and the Dover defense as they try to keep the game where it is. A 5-1 Nashua lead as we move along to bottom 4. Dover catcher Axel Post pegs one down to second, and we're set for baseball here in the 4th inning. Jason Roby's in the house. Welcome. Trevor Kelly, the number 9 hitter, who was up there when Nashua had the bases loaded and ended the inning with a runner getting picked off of third, falling asleep, and robbing Trevor Kelly of an RBI opportunity. Very high to right field, tough sky, and making the play in semi-deep right. Dylan Murphy for Dover, 1 up, 1 fly ball out here in the 4th. So back to the top of the order, and Max Mello, excuse me, takes a ball low. Bottom of the 4th, Nashua with a 5-1 lead. Henry Boudreaux has been dominant when he's had to be. Loaded the bases but struck out the side in the top of the 4th to keep Dover at bay. Jacob Bisson came on in relief of Alex Bostrom. With the bases loaded and nobody out, he surrendered only the 1 run on a bases loaded walk, and otherwise inducing a pop-up and throwing some strikeouts, wiggled out of a major jam with just 1 run worth of damage. Ground ball left side to his right is Schlapak, and safe at first. I don't know if it mattered that the first baseman, Caleb Brothers, dropped it, but good hustle by Mello, and he is on board here in the 4th inning. So 1 out and 1 on, and the batter will be Brett. Oh, this is Brett Anderson's spot. But he came out of. Dante Young is up there in place of Anderson in this spot in the order. Ground ball left side to his right. Schlapak off balance throw. He gets it there. Safe at first. Good hustle by Dante Young. An infield hit, and it's first and second with only 1 out for Albert De La Rosa.
Albert De La Rosa.
Bisson's pitch is low and away. De La Rosa, whose batting style reminds me of the just released Eduardo Nunez, and he rips one to left field. and loads the bases. Hit it so hard there was no chance for the lead runner Mello to come all the way around and score. So Max Mello at third, Dante Young at second. Now Albert De La Rosa at first base. Bases loaded and 1 out, and Dover wants to talk it over on the mound. We have another pitching change in the offing. It appears they're going to bring in the shortstop, Alex Schlapak, to take the pill and inherit another bases loaded jam. When Bison came into the game as a relief pitcher from center field, he inherited a 1 out bases loaded jam. He walked one batter, but otherwise he got out of it. Well, he has passed the baton. Another 1 out bases loaded jam for a Dover relief pitcher. De La Rosa 3 for 3 in the game, according to our PA announcer Bill Thorpe. Sharply hit singles, so he's had a good game at shortstop and at the plate. Do believe this is Alex Schlapak on in relief for Dover. We'll await the announcement. They'll have to replace him. Schlapak played a solid shortstop, was going to give way to, I don't know, Bison. I think Bison went back into center field, number 9. Was that number 8 out there? Bison's at shortstop. So he played center earlier, he pitched, and now he's at shortstop. A versatile young man on the baseball diamond is Jacob Bison. So it's up to Schlapak to defuse this bomb here. The Nashua Legion threatening to really break this game open, leading by 4 already. 1 out, bases jammed for Noah Therian, who takes ball 1. Dover Legion straight away at all positions except for the center fielder, who's about a step to the right center gap, step or 2. Therian takes a strike over the inside corner. I was talking how Albert De La Rosa's batting stance reminds me of Eduardo Nunez, just designated for assignment by the Red Sox, but helped them win the World Series last year. And Therian's straight up and down style for the most part, left-handed batter, tall and lean, reminds me of Cody Bellinger, the Dodgers slugger. Is having a fantastic season. That one's ripped to right. Is it over the right fielder's head? He catches it. It nearly caught him. And it's a, oh, what happened there? Did he not tag up correctly? A base running gaff by Nashua. That should have been a sacrifice fly. The right fielder for Dover nearly got hit in the face with a line drive. Dylan Murphy, I believe, made the play. I thought it might have a chance to go over his head, but it hooked and sank right at him. He found his glove, and oh, that's right off the batter's back. So for a second there, it looked like Schlapak was going to come in and put out the fire, but instead, it's a gift run. A hit by pitch with the bases loaded makes it a 6-1 game. And your base runner, Max Mello, at third is off the hook. Cardinals sin there, not tagging up on a ball hit to the outfield with less than 2 out, but he got away with it because Will Brooks absorbed his second hit by pitch of the game. The Nashua catcher, I believe he was hit on the first pitch his last at bat as well. So that's an RBI, though, hit by pitch. 6-1, Nashua on top with 2 out here in the bottom of the 4th. And Boudreau takes a strike on the upper outer. Jason Roby is with us here on Nashua TV. Boudreau swings through that and quickly down in the count 0-2. He'll be doing the play-by-play in game number 2 of this Legion doubleheader here at Holman. Line drives to center. It's going to find its way through. 1 run is in. 2 runs The throw to the plate, De La Rosa sprints through without a slide necessary. Clutch 2-run single by Henry Boudreau makes it an 8-1 Nashua Legion lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning. A clutch 2-strike, 2-out hit up the middle. And as they say in the baseball cliche, Henry Boudreau helps himself as the pitcher of record right now. First pitch swinging a line drive single to center by Renzo. And the throw from the center fielder is not going to be in time as he plates the runner from second. Nashua goes first to third on a ringing RBI single from Nick DiRenzo, who wasted no time.
Looks like I got here just the right time, John Collins.
For an offensive explosion.
Wow, I'll tell you.
It is 9-1, the Nashua Legion on top. In total command now with the pitching of Boudreau and the hitting of this lineup. Batter is Zach Finkelstein, the first baseman. This Nashua Legion team's got to be licking their chops as they all the pressure's off, and it's just time to hit away. Instead, Finkelstein gets clipped by the pitch. Like it hit his pant leg rather than his body, but
it's going from bad to worse here for this Dover team.
Yep.
John.
Unfortunately,
I thought when that catch was made in right field that it was like a magnetic
big break they needed.
I thought so, but since then.
So Trevor Kelly, who got robbed of a bases loaded opportunity in his previous at bat, he was up there when Nashua, with the bases loaded, had the lead runner picked off a third and fell asleep. And Jacob Bisson, who was the relief pitcher in the game for Dover at the time, got out of the jam the easy way. And Trevor Kelly was up there standing there saying, what happened to my bases loaded opportunity? Well, here it is. The Nashua Legion, chance to add to a 9-1 lead, and I believe that Kelly's just looking for a strike. But
everything's outside. Everything's outside, and his body language, John, is that of frustration. He can't find the zone, and when he comes inside, he hits the batter. So he's struggling right now. Needs to take a deep breath, try to get some composure. But this Nashua team smells blood on the water.
Yeah, double digits now, a 9-run lead, 10-1 for Nashua, and the dangerous Max Mello up there with a bases loaded opportunity of his own. He jackknifes out of the way of a ball inside. 2 balls and no strikes. And you would think Mello's thinking about putting it right over the outfielders' heads, but he just peels off of that one, and it's the left fielder that's going to come in and make the one-handed grab that ends the inning. So Nashua does leave the bases loaded, but damage done. They are up 10-1 as we move along to the top of the 5th of a 7-inning game. Nashua with great hitting, and Dover with no substitutes. They're forced to play with just the 9 guys.
And correct me if I'm wrong, John Collins, but I believe they played this Dover team fairly recently, did they not? Was it a few games?
A month ago.
Okay.
Yeah, we did the game, Tom and I, and they
I was taking notes on how to do the play, but I'm like, wow, these guys are good.
They loaded the bases 4 times in the game without scoring.
Dover did.
That's
right. I read. That's what I read. Yeah.
Which was just astonishing because you don't see that every day. It's hard to load the bases, first of all, and then nobody accidentally knocked a run in.
It'd be interesting to see if Nashua playing the first of 2 here will be able to keep it going in the later game, and
whether they get worn down against the Exeter team that's just playing the 1.
And Exeter again, I believe there's
good
12-2 or something to that effect. So they're going to be playing a pretty.
They're
team.
coming in here expecting to win against the Nashua team that's playing 2 games to their 1. But the flip side is, all these guys have gotten a lot of at-bats under their belt. Probably the nerves are completely gone, and you never know what'll happen in baseball.
That's always funny, isn't it? When you watch a doubleheader, you sometimes you see a lopsided score in game 1, and then in game 2, it's the other way around. It's just funny how it works. Sometimes you have great offense in the first one, and the second one, based on maybe who's pitching against you, you don't have it.
Yep.
And based on that 12-2 record of Exeter, I have to imagine that they have some good pitchers on the hill.
Yes. Probably more than one
Yep.
ace on that team.
Leading off the Nova, number 23. Axel Post.
Axel Post, sturdily built Dover catcher to bat here. I gave him the Buster Posey role for the Dover team. Batting third, he rips it inside the line. Buster Posey would have been proud of that hit, but he's going to be held to a single.
Long single. That was 2 curveballs in a row, and he wasn't fooled the second time around. He waited on that and just smoked it down the third base side.
Yeah, that was an exit velo of 100 miles per, I would say. So 1 on and nobody out here in the Dover 5th inning, trailing 10-1 at the moment. Rip to right, first pitch. It's a tough play. Throw to second is he's off
his
the
foot
base.
came off the bag, I think,
Wow,
Johnny.
yeah.
The throw would have been there in time, but he had to lean to his left towards the center field to get it, and unfortunately for Nashua.
Yeah, I think that was Nick Renzo out there who did a good job just to find that ball in a very tough sun right now.
Yeah, the sun, you can see it. He's got his glove up over his face right now. And
yeah, and if that throw was just a foot to the left, they get the force out at second. But pretty good base running there by the Dover catcher. Post. You caught in no man's land there when it's first hit to the right fielder, but he got there in time, it turns out. First and second and nobody out. Look out. It was just above the Tom King Memorial booth here at Holman.
Memorial.
Yeah.
Okay. I like the sound of the
legendary
wooden,
box,
legendary. There you
Legend
go.
box.
I like the
Excuse
sound
me.
of the wooden bats.
Yeah.
It's so different.
It's
It
refreshing.
sounds. Talking to Bill Thorpe earlier, he says it sounds like real baseball. You know.
Yeah. Ground ball left side. Mello charges, fires in time. Good play by the Nashua third baseman.
Yeah, his momentum was definitely taking him towards home plate. Otherwise, he would have been able to step on third and get the lead runner. But made a great play.
He gets that key out.
And when you have that kind of a lead, you can afford to be maybe a little less aggressive. And
Good stop there behind the plate by Brooks.
Caleb Witham is the hitter.
Conversation here with the home plate umpire.
Yeah, Caleb Witham, the hitter, nearly got hit by that pitch. Brooks was able to get a glove on it and stop it right there in its tracks, so no advance by.
You're a names guy, John Collins. Not the best name for a baseball player. Witham, unless you're the pitcher.
Well, if you got an F in there, but it's TH.
Oh, Witham. Okay,
Witham,
gotcha.
yeah,
I
yeah.
thought it was an F.
Yeah.
My apologies.
It's a good team name.
It is.
Yeah. Either with them or you're against them.
Excellent. John Collins has been doing this for a very long time, folks.
Writing is terrible, though. I scribbled it in the roster. I got caught off guard by the early start. It was a 5:30 start, and they started at 5 instead. And I'm sure that threw off all of our affiliates.
Yeah.
Many TV affiliates across the country were like, what's the game doing on already for? A mound visit. Henry Boudreau had been cruising along, but he walks the bases loaded here after surrendering a couple of hits. Teaching moment. There is bullpen activity for the Nashua Legion on a hot Tuesday evening here at Holman Stadium. We're getting our mid-July's worth today, Jason.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
So I believe this is Jake Bisson, who started the game in center, pitched a couple innings, and then moved to shortstop. Oh, that's number 6.
Now stepping in number 6, Dan Wooster.
It's Dan Wooster, or Woodson. Wootser, W-O-O-T-S-E-R. The umpire went to the, I don't know if he just got a drink, maybe during that conference.
He has the shade on his side right now, but I imagine with that equipment on, it can't be too comfortable.
Right. Boudreau coming out of that pitcher-manager conference thought he clipped the corner. He did not get the call. And Woodson looks at his ball 2. That was, first one was outside. That was low. And nowhere to put him for Henry Boudreau, whose body language certainly is telling us that he is running very low on fumes right now, on fuel. That's a strike at the knees.
Yeah, good pitch, good placement.
Battling back through the fatigue and the heat. 2 balls and 1 strike. Working quickly is Boudreau.
I was just going to say, John, he's working fast, and that one
hammered into the hole. 1 run is in, and that'll be it. They're going station to station, down by 9 runs. Make it 8 now. 10-2. Dover.
You have to wonder, John, if the third baseman was maybe a little deeper. Maybe even with the bag, he makes that play, but he was right on the edge of the grass there. And
hoping for the
quick throw home.
Right at him ball and come home with it. First pitch swinging. Dan Filion did not get cheated on the swing, but Filion and Dylan Murphy, the 8-9 hitters, got struck out back-to-back. Last time up, but this time a high pop in the infield fly rule in effect. Batter automatically out for out number 2.
Yeah, Filion appeared to be stepping towards the third base side, almost stepping out of the box rather than in at the pitch.
And now the 9-hitter Murphy looks at ball 1. So the pop-up in the infield, the play made by Max Mello at third base, counting for the 2 outs in the inning. And Boudreau, don't look now, but Dover's got the bases loaded again. They did get a run in, though. It's different than the previous 5 instances that we can talk about.
I don't want to jinx them, but the good news is Nashua 2 outs here. And you have a plethora of options here. You can go to any base or home, get yourself out of the inning.
Murphy just trying to interrupt Boudreau's rhythm right there. Called timeout and got it, and he kind of succeeded as Boudreau missed with that pitch.
And he is working fast, John.
Yep, get it, set, throw it. That one squirts through, but not far enough to do any damage. Will Brooks scrambles back and gets it.
Sure, David Price is watching at home saying, yes, that's how I should be on the hill. I need to move a little bit faster with a little more efficiency.
Do any of them think that? Just take their sweet time.
I love those 4- and 5-hour baseball games. Those are always fun.
I probably already told you this story about the 67 series in Rico. High fly ball to the right. It's a tough play, tough sky. And nicely done by Nick Renzo out there for out number 3. John Collins with Jason Roby here at Holman Stadium in Nashua as we watch the Nashua Legion take a commanding 10-2 lead into the bottom of the 5th. You get 10-3?
Is it 10-3? Did they score one there? Or did they not?
They did walk one. I thought that
maybe not.
It was 10-1 going into the inning, and I just gave them the 1 run.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah.
So 10-2, you're correct. Yep.
So Nashua's own Rico Petrocelli, I think he grew up in New York City, but he makes his home here now for many years. Played on the Red Sox from 1965 or 6, I want to say, until about 77. He was involved in that 1967 World Series with Bob Gibson and the St. Louis Cardinals.
The Cardinals went 7 games.
Yeah, and if you happen to look at the box scores for those 7 games, the longest game was 2 hours and 38 minutes, I think it was. One was 2:07.
Wow.
A World Series game.
That's
2 hours
crazy.
and 7 minutes.
That is.
Rico knew they were fast, but he even didn't remember how fast they were.
Wow.
what was it? I guess people just got it and threw it back then,
You also
right?
got to pay advertisers now.
Yeah.
Your commercials are long.
Yeah. And there wasn't
in between
enough
innings.
hits, I guess, either, with
No.
Dixon on the high mound.
Did he win 3 games that series?
I think he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
like
so,
1,
too.
4, and 7 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
Dominant. Yeah. From his high perch. I can't believe guys used to not wear helmets back then. Now, the facial guard is all the rage to add to the helmet.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting those now.
Yeah.
And but those guys back then, they just had their caps on. A lot of them. I think a few of them had like metal lined hats, but nobody had like ear flaps or anything. It was crazy when you think about it.
It's like
Especially
hockey
with Gibson.
Too. Hockey had no. Hockey had no helmets.
That's a great point, huh?
Yeah,
I mean, when the big bad Bruins were operating in the 70s and 80s. And, I mean, you think about how crazy that is in retrospect, too. Like, Rick Middleton played his entire career without a helmet.
Right.
Maybe he had one on at the very end. He might have, but just...
well, and the way some of these guys wear them now, they may as well not wear them either. They're just so loosely fitting.
Yeah, that's true.
But safety first,
yeah,
no doubt. Your base coaches have to wear them, and rightfully so.
Football, your field of expertise.
They've
had some changes.
The lifespan of a helmet, it's I believe you get 10 seasons, and then the helmet can no longer be used.
Yep. I think something got moved.
We moved something.
Tim, can you still hear me? Okay.
I got you, John.
All right.
I did hear a beep.
Yeah, I lost my headphone audio.
Yeah, the lifespan of a helmet now, and there's extensive testing done to the helmets and so forth, and when you send them out for reconditioning.
That was the thing there, Tim. If you can play with that, there it goes.
Yep.
I got it. Thank you. So Nashua playing with some house money here in the bottom of the 5th inning. So. Kind of an alarming story if you're talking about it from a Nashua education TV perspective. I guess they're legalizing sports betting in New Hampshire at some point. Did you hear this?
Yeah.
Strike 3 called on the outside corner. So it looks like the catcher for Dover's gone out to pitch.
Yeah, we have a new pitcher on the hill. I think you're right, John.
Yeah, that would be Axel Post pitching
Post
now.
on the hill now, yep.
Did a good job of getting the strikeout. Your thoughts on that at all? Dangerous?
Of course, it's it's something that could be addicting and temptations. Yeah. But if
very high to left center field. And
I don't know. Yep. I don't know where that money is earmarked to go. If any of it is earmarked for education, or if it's going towards. Medical, if it's, I guess if
benefits
benefits somebody, risk reward. But it certainly is something you have to be aware of.
Ball high. That was way outside.
I've recently found a Keno. I enjoy a nice game of Keno every now and then when I go, when I go out to dinner, but not too much.
Yeah, you just limit yourself to a certain number of games. I just do crossword puzzles, but I got to figure out a way to make money off it, I guess, and they can tax it.
Exactly right.
Oh.
Well then.
That's definitely ball 4.
Yeah, he held on to that one a little too long.
That's a catcher who's pitching right there. He had some success with the first batter with the caught looking for strike 3, but that one went behind the batter.
Maybe he was aiming for the barrel of the bat while it was behind him.
Yeah. So we saw 2 pitchers doing battle.
Yeah.
Earlier in the game when Bostrom batted against Boudreaux and vice versa. Now it's catcher versus catcher as Will Brooks twists away from that pitch.
Yeah.
from Axel Post.
And I thought that got him, but apparently it did not. That was up and in.
Buzz the tower.
Yep.
1 ball and no strikes to Brooks, and did not get cheated.
Bad intentions on that swing.
Yeah. Straight to the backstop.
I got your high and tight right here.
Yeah. You see some outfielders playing more shallow, certainly, than they do, let's say, in the FCBL or a high school game when they use aluminum.
I was going to say the bats probably, right, have something to do with that because they're facing good pitching. It's you know, they're still coming with the same velocity.
But that swing he just took, that would have been more than enough to drive it to the
sure.
wall. Throw to second on a hop, but great jump and in there with a stolen base.
That ball short hopped on the third base side, and that's probably why he's able to get in there. If that second base side, or first base side rather, may have had a chance at him. But a stolen base nonetheless.
Noah Therian, good-looking athlete with that steal, leading off the second. And so I don't know if there's any unwritten rule about how many runs you can be ahead when still steal. And
yeah.
8 is right on the edge. It's not 10, but it is 8.
Well, you know, you also have to wonder who, you know, you're starting catchers now, you're pitchers, so you want to see what that arm looks like from the, you know, from the new catcher.
Yeah,
definitely. And that's a good way to find out.
Definitely a strategic advantage, you would think, if the backup catcher's in there. So Brooks takes a walk, 2 walks after the strikeout, and there is another.
Boy.
Get out of the way, Henry Boudreau. HB did not want to become an HBP. Henry Boudreau looking for something in the strike zone so he can get out of here quick, and it's above the zone. 2 balls and no strikes.
Not much to swing at.
Nope. Struggling to find his release point here is Axel Post. In danger of walking the bases full after the strikeout to begin the inning. That definitely is.
Yeah. You know, the other
inside.
thing too, John, is unfortunately for Post is, you know, you've been squatting for the better part of an hour plus behind home plate, and it does a number on your legs. And he's a good sized kid, built well, but it has to take its toll on you. And now you're asked to come out here in the later innings, and you know.
You're absolutely right. That's not a formula that you want for a relief pitcher to have been squatting for 4 or 5 innings and 90 minutes or more at this point. 5 o'clock start. Yeah, he was down there for a good 90 minutes before he took the mound. So, and they talk about pitching being a lot about your legs.
All legs and hips, and that's part of the reason why he's inside, he's outside the release points. It has a lot to do with the legs and the hips.
Nick DiRenzo.
And there it is again. And at this point, you have to wonder if you got to just find someone to go in for him, just so that nobody gets hurt, and looking out for your catcher too, or your pitcher.
Yeah.
Because he's not up there purposely throwing at these kids. You just can't find the zone.
Sadly, he's probably aiming for the middle of the plate.
Yeah.
Instead, he gets Nick DiRenzo in the ribs. Hit by pitch, run batted in. 11-2, Nashua Legion on top.
And he's rubbing those ribs right now, John. He's definitely feeling that.
Yeah, that's gonna leave a mark,
no
as
doubt.
they say.
You see the seams in the morning.
Zach Finkelstein, Nashua first baseman.
It's neat seeing these kids all playing on a combined team,
Yeah. Speaking of the Hampshire gambling or the lottery.
We're going back there.
Yes, that's how the batters are feeling right now.
Yeah.
If you get that strike in
rolling
the middle of the
dice.
zone, it's going to be like.
There you go.
Oh, there it is. The 1-1-2-1, I believe. That's high. That was ball 4, actually. So a 12-2 game. Is there a mercy rule? Is that it? That's the mercy rule. 10 runs.
Looks like that's going
after 5 innings.
That's probably going to do it. And you know what? That actually
finish.
That's actually good for Nashua. Who
it is good for
you know,
Nashua.
they get even if it's just an inning, you know, you don't have to bring another arm in from the bullpen. You can you know, you can go in, get some water, stay fresh, and not have to worry about, I got another inning, I got to go out there, or whatever the case might be.
Henry Boudreau, the winning pitcher and star of the game for the Nashua Legion Post, as they take this one 12-2. The mercy rule kicks in here in the bottom of the 5th inning as the two teams shake hands. Our cameraman for this Nashua ETV telecast, Tim O'Neill. I'm John Collins for Tom King. Thanks to Jason Roby, and enjoy taking over, and the Exeter versus Nashua Legion game I will be watching, Jason.
I am sure you will, sir. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
An exciting game it shall be. So I will say good evening from Holman Stadium, everybody.